The big house on Olu Street was its own little world, a bustling, noisy, wonderful universe to 9-year-old Chloe. It was a place where the line between siblings and cousins was blurry, where aunties scolded you and fed you in the same breath, and where the laughter of children was the constant soundtrack. For Chloe, who had lost her parents young, this chaotic family was her anchor. Lately, however, a shadow had fallen over her sunny world. The shadow had a name, Aunt Grace, the new and glamorous wife of her favorite uncle, Uncle Mike. For months, the entire household had revolved around Aunt Grace's pregnancy. Her belly grew round and proud, and Uncle Mike's face shone with a joy that made Chloe's heart feel full. It was during a particularly rowdy game of hide-and-seek that the world tilted on its axis. Chloe, searching for her cousins, had the brilliant idea to check the walk-in closet in Uncle Mike and Aunt Grace's bedroom. As she crept towards it, she heard a strange rustling. Peeking through the slightly open door, her heart froze. Aunt Grace stood with her back to the door, but she was facing a large mirror. Her blouse was lifted. And there was no smooth, pregnant belly. Instead, a bundled-up towel and several tiny, folded baby grows tumbled out from a white band around her waist and onto the floor. The roundness was gone. In the mirror, Chloe saw Aunt Grace's face, a mask of pure panic as she scrambled to stuff the clothes back in. A tiny, shocked gasp escaped Chloe's lips. Time stopped. Aunt Grace's eyes, wide with terror, snapped up and met Chloe's in the reflection. The terror instantly twisted into something cold and sharp. She spun around, yanking Chloe into the dark closet. "You little spy," she hissed, her grip like a vice on Chloe's thin arm. "You saw nothing. Do you hear me? Nothing. But the baby." Chloe stammered, tears springing to her eyes. "It's a secret." Aunt Grace's whisper was venomous. "A deadly secret. If you tell anyone, your Uncle Mike, anyone, I will tell them you are a wicked, jealous liar. I will say you stole my gold necklace. Your Uncle Mike will never look at you the same way again. You will be thrown out of this house forever." The threats landed like physical blows. The thought of Uncle Mike's disappointed eyes was more than she could bear. Trembling, Chloe nodded, a silent promise sealed in fear. But a secret that big is a heavy weight for a small soul. It burned inside her, a hot coal of truth. A few days later, hiding behind the compound with her favorite cousin, 7-year-old Mia, the words just tumbled out in a tearful whisper. "Aunt Grace, there's no baby. It's just clothes." Mia's eyes went round. She, in turn, told her mother, Auntie Boma, a sharp and observant woman. Auntie Boma had already noticed small things, how Grace's bump sometimes seemed lopsided, how she never let anyone feel the baby kick. After watching her co-wife more closely, Auntie Boma decided to confront her privately. The confrontation was a disaster. Grace denied everything, of course. But when Auntie Boma mentioned, "A child saw you," Grace knew exactly who had betrayed her. The shame and fury that twisted her face was terrifying. Chloe had broken her promise. A cold dread settled over Chloe after that. Aunt Grace's smiles towards her were now icy daggers. She knew her punishment was coming. It arrived on a sunny afternoon when most of the adults were out. Aunt Grace, sweet as poisoned honey, called all the children to the backyard. "I've made a special treat for my favorite people," she announced, handing out small bowls of a delicious-looking corn pudding. Chloe, her stomach tight with fear, ate slowly. The other children devoured theirs and ran back to their game. But as Chloe took her last bite, a terrible, cramping pain seized her abdomen. It was like a fire had been lit in her belly. She doubled over, crying out. "My belly! My belly!" she screamed, the pain so intense her vision blurred. The commotion brought Auntie Boma and the other remaining adults running. Chloe was writhing on the ground, her face pale and beaded with sweat. "What is it? What did you eat? Where did you go?" Auntie Boma demanded, gathering Chloe in her arms. The other children, now frightened, pointed to the empty bowls. "Aunt Grace gave us food," one of them said. As they rushed the now semi-conscious Chloe to the hospital, Auntie Boma's mind raced. The confrontation. The betrayal. The special treat only for the children. It was all too coincidental. At the hospital, the doctor's diagnosis was grim: severe food poisoning. "She's a very lucky girl," he said sternly. A stronger dose could have been fatal. While Chloe fought for her health in a hospital bed, Auntie Boma did not stay silent. She gathered Uncle Mike and the family elders. With a calm, steady voice, she laid out the timeline: Chloe's secret, the confrontation, the sudden special treat, and the resulting illness that struck only the one child who had exposed the terrible, life-shattering lie. The truth, once a tiny seed whispered between cousins, had now grown into a mighty, terrible tree, and its shadow fell over the entire house on Olu Street, forever changing the world Chloe had once thought was safe.